You did. I did ask you. No, it's not that he forgot to turn his mic on. It's more specifically when we go back and forth, it resets it to default instead of setting it to whatever the same thing we both uses.
Yeah.
So
First time streaming.
Every time I stream, I have to adjust everything to me being the streamer, and then when he takes it back, he has to adjust everything again to being him being the streamer. So it's not very easy. Like, it's not like everybody else who just has one person streaming and just turns on the stream. There's a lot more complexities to our streams.
Yeah, it's all right. Once I go through the headache and extra complexity of getting a third computer set up as our dedicated streaming machine, it'll actually be a lot easier. It's just going to take some time to set that up properly, make it work. So,
as I was eventually, if we could, I was going to add real quick. Also, eventually, if we can get into the same room, that'll be really nice too.
Fair. Then you'll hear me a little bit through her mic.
Not likely, but yeah, go for it.
Well, I just meant if I don't get the third computer set up, like my mic will still be turned off and you'd be hearing me through yours.
Oh, I see.
But yeah, as I was saying before, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Golden Feather Tavern. We are your host, Vertec and Chibi, and as always, on these wonderful tavern talks, we try to welcome in everybody and anybody who's gotten to know us at least a little bit to come on in and chat a little bit about MMORPGs, tabletops, cozy games, whatever the topic happens to be for the night. So why don't you go ahead and pull up a chair, grab a pint, plate, pick your seats as we delve into tonight's discussion. So Chibi, I know we were chatting a little bit about this, a little bit about it before going live, but what do we got on tap today?
Yeah, so there's a couple of things. We have actually a fun Guild Wars 2 event going on that I want to dive into, because after all, they just posted it today, and it's going on between now and September 1st, which is the exact time that we are checking out Guild Wars 2. So maybe if you guys want to check out with us, we can dive into that a little bit more. It's called the Festival of Four Winds. Then I also want to discuss the approach for Guild Wars 3's playable species. And this will also include some of our Discord conversations. In Discord, we often have a question from the Tavern Keepers, and this is something that is usually kind of a fun, cheeky question, like if you were to be any class in Guild Wars 2, which class would it be? Or, do you prefer anime waifus or anime husbandos? It's kind of a flavor of the week thing, but
always
this
exciting.
one we recently, it's fun. This one we asked, what are your thoughts on characters in MMOs or even TTRPGs, where there's certain things that are tied to the racials of that character, be it crafting, be it backstory, be it actual, like as Vertec put it, about 2% worth of a weight for your race in terms of final stats. And then finally, we've been asked a lot lately if we're going to be considering MMO Lites, and I kind of want to dive into what exactly an MMO Lite is. I know I have a couple of friends that tune in and they don't really know all these terminologies, and whether or not Vertec and I think an MMO Lite would be viable. If you have any input on any of these, as Vertec mentioned, which you may or may not have gathered from the muted opening session, we do have a live stream queue that is open to the people that we have known in our community for a little while, or you've come and hung out with us in our voice chats before. It's a little way for us to open the chat to those of you in our community that we feel we can trust with our live streams. After all, we have to be very careful with who we let just wander in and start talking on the lives. But if any of this sounds interesting, even just to listen to, please consider giving us a like, follow, subscribe to our YouTube channel, or join us over on Twitch. We do live stream from Twitch and YouTube at the same time. And YouTube tends to keep our archives, so this will be around a lot longer on YouTube. do you want me to take over and just jump into the new Festival of Four Winds and have you kind of listen a little bit while you help me fix my chat spot?
Yes. Yes. I'm
Okay.
almost done, by the way.
So-
Almost done. I think I basically have it polished up for you.
Okay, full disclosure, a little bit of our delay in getting into being live is my chat thing for StreamerBot was not really displaying chat, and I was trying really hard to get it to work. So, yeah. All right. So, Festival of the Four Winds. This is from their own channel, their own website. It is a event, I think, and they're having rewards and more. Ooh, so let's figure out what this is together. So the Festival of the Four Winds, one of Tyria's beloved summer traditions, is upon us again. Hot air balloons in each nation's capital stand ready to whisk visitors away to the labyrinthine cliffs. Oh gosh, I just hear jumping puzzles. To visit the Zephyrites and the Crown Pavilion in Divinity's Reach, which has flung open its doors for combat-ready visitors. Okay, maybe not so much of the jumping puzzles as much as maybe some fun things.
We're gonna make you into a platformer yet.
As you play, earn rewards like the new cloud. I don't even know how to say this word. Terugs? Pteruges. Leg armor skin, complete with an unclouded alternate skin, spellwork weapons, and a plush Krauke backpack and thematic homestead decoration recipes. So those of you that are digging into homesteads, like I know Basil is, you can get some homestead decoration recipes from this. And yes, Wizzy, the technology is indeed fighting back tonight. There will be special objectives in the Wizard's Vault, and those will even award you with astral acclaim for participating in the Crown Pavilion and Zephyrite activities. Yvonne Nashblade is getting into the spirit of things too. While this festival is running, select Zephyrite-themed items from the Black Lion Trading Company will be available at 20% discount. And they have a YouTube video that you can preview some of this year's rewards and then check out the full release notes and head into the game. The festivities last until September 1st, which is pretty nice because September 1st is about the time Vertek and I are heading out to Pax West. Yeah, Pax West. Don't even play, but must buy.
Must buy.
The soundtrack looks lovely. Yes. The
vinyls look really cool. The edges are all red and the white vinyl outside of yeah.
But yeah, so the leg, they look like little leg wraps, like the ballerina crissy-crossy leg wraps with like cloudy things at the top. And then also the weapons look cool too. There's like little bits of cloud. And then there's a little dragon backpack, which I feel like I should try to like wink, wink, nudge, nudge Bean into trying Guild Wars 2, if nothing else, but for the dragon backpack, which they have in a variety of colorways. So I think that indicates either there's color options or you can color them yourself. So, which I think you introduced me to coloring things myself with the wings and the glider.
Yeah, because there's a lot of free stuff that you get as far as coloring goes, and then there's a gazillion custom, like, more rare and collectible colors out there.
Yeah.
Couldn't even tell you how many there are.
That is pretty nice. They also have a starter pack going on, I think kind of always, because I think we were looking at this like a month ago, and they still had the starter pack then too. But they have a lot of really cool things. They even have a play for free. That's really cool. Oh, join a global community, start here with no subscription fees. Yeah, I'm not sure. I've already paid for a lot of the different expansions. So but if you're new to Guild Wars 2 specifically, and then Guild Wars 3 is going to be replicating this. And Vertek, I'll let you talk about Guild Wars 1 since I have definitely not touched Guild Wars 1, and I'm barely touching Guild Wars 2. But this is a game that has no monthly subscription cost. It is a purchase of the box cost and then any cosmetics that you want. So
Yeah, Guild
that is
Wars
really
1
nice.
is basically the same thing. It's just a little bit less MMO-like.
Gotcha. Okay. And then I believe leading into our discussion a little bit later, the Guild Wars 3, which is being referred to as a MMO Lite, is also going to have that same content strategy of there'll be release DLCs or box costs, if you will, but no monthly pay. So
yeah, I'm curious how that's gonna land. Because I know Guild Wars 1, I haven't played it in a while, but from what I recall, it's very much like you group up with your friends either through other channels or in a major city. You gather people to go do stuff, advertise your wares, or like I used to back in the day, offer to give people a speed run through the area, which is basically just get full tilt tank, self heal, multi-class setup, get the right gear on, and I would just get people in the party and run through all the bad guys and just keep running and take them from town to town, so they would now have that new town in their map. And so while you're out in the map, it's all just you and your party basically, and that was it.
That's interesting, actually. I'm really curious to see. We'll get into it more. I want to do a recap and a baseline of what the expectations are for Guild Wars 3 in general, but I haven't really played many games like Guild Wars 2. And I'm not necessarily a little bit of shame with my inflection. It's just more of I am level 30 officially at this point out of 80. And as Visions pointed out, it's pretty easy relatively to get to level 80. A lot more of the game kind of unlocks once you hit max level. For example, I was looking for an auto loot option, and that doesn't become available until level 80, and things like that. So, Vertec, you've been playing for a while, though. I guess this is a good moment for us to discuss our thoughts on Guild Wars 2 and our experience with Guild Wars 2. I did just give them a little bit of mine, but if you want to give a little bit more of yours.
I like how Guild Wars 2 is set up, to be honest. I would have probably been playing it a lot more. Except that I just didn't know many people who were actually into Guild Wars 2, so I didn't want to go and just play Guild Wars 2 on the side or as a quote-unquote main game while everybody else is playing everything else but that. So I kind of let it languish, but that's part of the glory of Guild Wars 2, right? Is you pay the box cost for the individual expansions and the individual content bits, and then you can leave and come back and leave and come back and let it sit and stagnate for a little bit and come back, and it's the same stuff, right? It's still there waiting for you. You don't end up with there's a hydrate. Yeah, you don't end up with like so much.
Oh, look, you finally showed up.
Hey, there's an oracle. Hydrate. Yeah, there's not as much FOMO to it. Like you're still quote unquote missing content, right? But it doesn't feel like you're missing the content as much.
I only say it the way I said it because everybody was wondering where Oracle was and why he wasn't there to claim first. And in fact, this is 2 streams in a row he wasn't here to claim first. So a little bit of jesting is in order, I think.
But yeah, I mean, like Guild Wars 2 is great for that because you don't feel like you're missing content. You feel like you're maybe missing some growth time, but at the same point, everyone's max level. So like once you hit max level, like there's not that I need to push to catch up with everybody. At that point, it's just gathering gear, and there's so much gear to gather, and there's so many different places to go to get it, and then there's all the different mounts you can pick up. You don't need to pick them up. Excuse me, but you might need, say, a specific mount to get to specific goals. If you wanted to climb a hill to get to that vista all the way up at the top of the mountain, you might need a certain mount to get up there. But
and that's kind of what I was told because, I mean, you've been playing a lot. I'm giving from a different perspective of I'm not really somebody who's playing a lot. In fact, I think a good portion of my content last night, or I keep saying last night, Sunday, was I don't know where I'm at. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what does what. Like, let me just try to figure this out. And I was thinking maybe I needed to go up the mountain to do something for like a vista point or whatever. And S Visions was telling me that none of the base game content, the content that I was going through, needed any sort of intricate mount work or anything to get to them. It was just something that was already, everything should be accessible to me. I shouldn't need to feel like I need a mount to get to that or anything in particularly special to get to that. So that was kind of nice to know, and it eased my mind a little bit of, okay, cool. So I'm not missing anything with this. It's just what I have access on the little raptor mount is all I have access to, for example. So, but I will say I played Ranger last night and it was pretty nice. I was trying to get into the groove of swapping my weapons, and the weapons that I ended up having initially were 2 longbows, and then I got a short bow that was an upgrade for one of them. So I swapped to a short bow and a longbow. And I was just toggling back and forth as a ranger on what the bows felt like. And I like that I could either click the little, like, I don't know what you call it, like a U arrow to swap, or use my hotkey to swap back and forth, which I figured out really quickly. I'm going to have to change my hotkey because some of the idea of using 2 different weapons is swapping back and forth while you're fighting. And Visions told me that if I use, like, let's say number 5, which I think could be considered an ultimate on my short bow, it would not affect my number 5 key on my longbow. And so I could swap back and forth and make it rain arrows and then swap over to the short bow and then do whatever thing on that one. And I thought that was actually kind of interesting. I sort of started getting into a synergy, which I think is what you were hoping for me.
Yep. Start to get the feeling for, and here's me, my take on it is I'm not much one for the like switching between weapons in the middle of combat necessarily. Like, I know some people are all about the combos, like they'll use one skill from this weapon combined with a character skill and then jump immediately to a different skill on a different weapon, and it creates like a 3-hit combo that's like devastating. I'm not so much for that. I know I should be, but I haven't played it like steadily and hard enough content to really get into doing that. But I do like having 2 different weapons just for 2 different play styles, like one that's going to be absolutely just crushing to big enemies, and then another one that's like big and wide sweeping AoE type attacks.
Yeah.
So I can switch like that, like especially when I'm on my necro and I just got my little mindless minions that are running around just causing their own little chaos. So I want to seed, like I want to cause death all around there, like inflict a little bit of death upon everything and let my little minions just kind of pick them all off. So there's that. That's kind of the way I go with it. But and yeah. So, and Noob is the exact opposite. Strongly prefers weapon swapping, like constantly.
Yeah, I don't want to do it constantly, but I can see a situation where it would work really nicely. For example, healing versus damage. Let's say, apparently, and don't come at me. I'm just using words that I was told. So this is not something I am well versed in. Vertec, you can correct me. I'm sure you might know better. But Ranger can become a Druid. And apparently Druid healing is a little bit more niche healing. So let's say I was being a Druid, but we needed more damage because we have somebody who's a primary healer, which apparently is, I don't remember what it's called, but the one that I chose that I was running around with you. I think it starts with a C for class.
Wait, I mean, Guardian, I think you picked?
Yeah, Guardian, G, not C. Okay. But I think Guardian is the one that's primarily like the healing type, quote unquote, out of all of the options. So let's say we had a Guardian that was spec'd for healing and everything, whatever that later game spec is, and I was doing Ranger / Druid. I could probably swap back and forth between doing Druid healing and damage with my weapon swapping. Guardian equals Firebrand.
Guardian. Guardian. Because that's kind of what you were talking about, the later game spec. At a certain point in
Yeah.
the game, you unlock the ability to start putting points into Firebrand, and then once you start putting points into
That's literally
Firebrand,
real.
then yeah,
I
then
thought that
you
was a joke because of
then you can actually
the
become like the
dragon.
best single target healer.
Mm.
Like that's your hard focus healer.
Sorry, I wasn't making fun of you. I just thought it was funny because all I'm imagining is becoming the dragon from Ashes.
Become the dragon.
You go from a guardian and then you become a dragon.
As one does.
As one done. Most of my weapon swapping is just me button smashing, wondering why my abilities aren't firing off. Very fair.
Garcimile also mentioned earlier, just real quick, just to catch up on it, saying I never played Guild Wars 1, love the heavy large group focus with WVW, world versus world, PvP, massive map meta events, which are actually pretty amazing, raid strikes, etc. Excited for Guild Wars 3, but not thrilled about the light focus. And
if
that's the part
like
we're unsure of.
Yeah. That's something like I think we'll have to figure out real quick. If you like World v World, I don't know if you caught this post from World v War or World v World or WVW War Score from their beta 2 results for Guild Wars 2. But I guess they've been running some beta tests to improve how the scoring works. So you might be intrigued in how that works. They have the captures, the PvP, the tick versus tick / upgrade, and then the other in terms of non-beta versus beta 2. So they have all of that there and some adjustments and what's next for World v World. So if that's something you're interested in, perhaps you might want to check out that post from them.
Yeah,
I am not really all that into that, so some of this goes over my head.
yeah. But like on the aspect of light MMO, if you think about it, people who like their PvE and PvP to be different, like in different arenas, like not interfering with each other, I think MMO Lites are probably the best way to go, really, because you may not bump into random people out in the world, but if you're just with your party, hanging out with your friends, trying to do something, the ones that you gather up in town or whatever and head out into the world to do something, like it'll feel and like uninterrupted. You're not going to be waiting there for a line of 17 people to finish killing the quest monster, right? But that being said, we have no idea how they're looking to do Guild Wars 3. It's supposed to be somewhere between Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 is just open everything. And Guild Wars 1 was the opposite, where there was literally nobody out in the world. You left the hub and that was it. You were with your party. So it's supposed to land in the middle.
Let's discuss what exactly an MMO Lite is and compare it, because for reference, I think a lot of people are referring to Guild Wars 3 as an MMO Lite, more specifically because it's going to be cross-platform. And I think that there's a lot of intricacies there as well. But yeah, how do you define what a MMO Lite is, and how does that compare to a traditional MMORPG?
For me, an MMO Lite is really something even like say Warframe, right? Warframe, where there's a bunch of people online. You can see chat just spinning away. So many people online talking about so many different things, multiple different chat windows. Hey there, Metal. Well, come on in. So you know that the game is alive, the game is active, things are happening. They're just not happening right where you're at because you and your party are on a mission. You're out there, you're doing something, and when you return back to, town, when you enter town, there may or may not be a loading screen depending on how the MMO Lite is set up, but you enter town and then you see a bunch of people hanging out. So it's an MMO, but they're just not all playing in the same specific area that you are.
What do you define for MMO? And part of the reason I'm asking, I'm kind of leading into, like, we recently were trying out Animo, right? Animo defines themselves as an online co-op and a cross-platform multiplayer and a massive multiplayer. But is that technically an MMO Lite or is that a different grading altogether? Like, are these things very similar but very different? Or are they close enough that the lines get a little bit blurred, I guess? Because the genre, according to Steam, for MMO is massively multiplayer and RPG. So you would assume MMORPG, but it plays very differently where you've got the online co-op for most of the gameplay, i.e. up to 4 people, right? Up to 4 people out in the world. And when you get to those social hubs like the little campsites or the main cities, that's when you see everybody else on your server.
Yeah, and that's
I'm
the thing
wondering
is
how that differs.
yeah, that's the thing. I think MMO Lite is kind of a nebulous term that's kind of a catch-all because a lot of different games have different ways of doing it. Like for instance, there could be, let's say, an MMO out there that has almost unlimited number of people on the screen while you're in a social hub. But as soon as you leave, you can only see a maximum of like 50 people in one zone, or 40 or 30 people in one zone, even though only 6 of them are in your party. Like there's more than just your party, but it's not everybody who's playing the game in that zone that's being limited only by like graphics card issues. They've literally put the cap lower on purpose for one reason or another. All the way to something again like what the heck was that one dungeon game that came out not too long ago? We didn't dive into it, but a lot of people did, where the entire game is nothing but dungeon grinding. That's it. There's social hubs, and you leave the social hub and you just go directly into a dungeon.
I don't know. My best guess is Darkest Dungeon or something.
Yeah, it was something people went nuts about. It had almost World of Warcraft like graphics. People were going crazy about it and thought it was Fellowship. Like it was apparently a really good game, but that's all it was. It was go to town, repair up, fix your gear up, make your gear better, meet up with people, and then just dive directly into a dungeon. And that was it.
Gotcha.
Like that, I think might be the ultimate in MMO Lite, like the most restricted, because you're not even adventuring in the real world at that point, or not the real world, geez.
Yeah.
Not even adventuring in the open world. You're adventuring just out into a dungeon and coming right back to town.
Yeah. Some things from chat. Basil is hoping that, or not hoping, saying they better have housing in Guild Wars 3. I think they will, with the fact that they just announced a event for Guild Wars 2 that has housing recipes and items in it. Noobtastic says, I want to see everyone in the open world, but not necessarily for the purpose of events and bosses, except every now and then. I want instance dungeons, but open world POIs. And Garcimile says, one of the great things about Guild Wars 2 and how they level sync and have meta events in early zones, which keeps them high traffic areas, which I feel may be lost in Guild Wars 3 and light MMOs. But I don't know if that's necessarily going to be the case. I think we don't really know, in my opinion, enough about Guild Wars 3 and the intentions behind it, outside of it being cross-platform.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Is we really don't know. So everything's purely a guessing game. We just know that it's supposed to be between Guild Wars 1 and 2. Guild Wars 1 being on one extreme of the extreme side of the needle, and the other one being Guild Wars 2, right in the middle. Could be almost what Noobtastic is kind of describing there. Like open world, specifically points of interest and major social hubs. But the rest of the open world that's surrounding those, kind of like how there were the campsites, like you were talking about an emo with the campsites where you could go in there and you'd see other people. Maybe there's certain POIs that are out in the world where you would bump into other people. Maybe that's the case. But out in the open world where there's quest monsters and a certain number of things you need to slay and things like that, it's not open world. Maybe that's the case. Maybe it is exactly like Noobtastic is describing.
Maybe. Bean says, I like it when I can see everyone working together. Slay the Spire 2 boss has a total number of damage everyone that has played has done on the boss. Or it's just an MMO. Because I either want to see and play with people or I don't. I don't like the half-assing it. And I mean, I'm going to take a little bit like of a moment to say, like, I don't think making it a halfway is half-assing anything in terms of effort and things like that. I think what they're trying to do is bridge the PC players with the like PlayStation players. And we've already seen this in Final Fantasy 14. I think you can be friends with somebody who plays on PlayStation and also ESO, right? So like there are other games that are meshing the two, albeit well after the events. But I mean, I'm gonna look this up just to make sure I'm keeping myself honest, but I'm pretty sure Final Fantasy 14 players can play cross play.
Yeah, and while you're looking that up, because that's the other thing to keep in mind is the specific language they used about their approach to what everybody is calling MMO Lite is that they wanted it to be more of an intimate experience. It is more of an intimate experience with you and the group you're running around with. And what that means exactly, we don't know, but it sounds purposeful rather than just we don't want to restrict the world for, you know, the sake of graphics or anything like that. It sounds like they are purposely making it in a specific manner to function in a way that is right in between Guild Wars 1 and 2 so they can keep all three products running and they're going to feel different. So whatever it is that that they mean by that, it sounds very purpose driven and it just happens to fall into the MMO Lite category by description.
And just for reference, to give a couple of examples that pulled up when I looked up MMO Lites, it's anything from Warframe to Destiny 2 to Fallout 76 to Enshrouded to Tower of Fantasy. In those, you can obviously see there's a lot of difference in not only what the game's intentions are in terms of players, with Destiny 2 having like 1 to 4 players, but also just the types of games that are defined as an MMO Lite. So my takeaway for that I'm trying to get at is don't, just because people are labeling it as an MMO Lite, just shrug it off. I think it's important that we give things a try, and if you don't like the idea of giving Guild Wars 3 a try when it comes out, I mean, Vertec and I are definitely planning on being a part of that. But if nothing else, you can come and watch us and ask us about things. Yeah, and I was going to say, I did look it up. It is cross-platform on Final Fantasy 14. And basically, I think that they're just trying to find a way to bridge the gap between PC players and console players in a way that feels good for both. I know that you can wishlist the game on Steam and PlayStation. I don't know if they're intending to go Xbox, but it is definitely something that and this is specifically a line that they said, for the first time ever, you can experience the world of Terraria on both PC and PlayStation 5. We built a combat system designed to feel incredible no matter how you play, whether you're using a controller or a mouse and keyboard. This is a game built to bring the magic of Terraria to life, where you'll master a combat system that emphasizes strategic skill use, positioning, and movement, and where action RPG combat meets Guild Wars build making, creating a unique combat experience. So, that sounds like action, combat, and other things. So,
yeah, and it's as long as and it sounds like they're trying to avoid this specifically, but as long as it doesn't feel like everything was made for one platform and just kind of ported over to the other, I think they'll do well. Yeah, like if it's purposefully designed to work really well in both from the get-go, instead of like, let's make this for PC and then port it over to console or vice versa. Because one of them can feel really punishing and then the other one can feel really simplified, depending on which platform you're on and which one it was made for.
To add to that, I'd be curious to see how the Final Fantasy 14 players specifically feel about PC gaming versus console gaming. Because, again, that's already an MMORPG that is out, that we do define as MMORPG, that is crossplay, versus everyone just throwing MMO Lite on it immediately just because of the crossplay functionality. Now, if you're talking about the more intimate groups that part could be where a lot of the MMO Lite is coming from as well. I'm just saying, let's avoid just throwing MMO Lite on it just because it is crossplay. intention.
Yeah, and
I hope that
real quick, just to throw this out, also to catch back a little bit with something Bean had said, is interested to know people's thoughts on class evolution or class evolve with that information beforehand, because she didn't see it in the limited research about the classes in Guild Wars 2 and only found out about it when watching us.
yeah.
Just out of curiosity, Bean, do you mean where you would start as what we were just talking about, like starting as a guardian, and then partway through the game you unlock the ability to start putting points in a different skill set, and you kind of change everything about the class except for the I guess the core identity of what you're trying to accomplish, but how you accomplish it completely alters. Because that's kind of how Guild Wars is set up. Yeah. They just kind of describe the base class, but not really. They don't really jump into the more advanced stuff unless you look for it.
Yeah. I do know there was one thing, and Basil and I kind of went back and forth on our little bit of theorizing on this, but being you've been playing Final Fantasy 14, anybody else who's played Final Fantasy 14, there's Blue Mage, which can learn new skills based on things that it interacts with. And I believe for Tech in Guild Wars 1, there was something similar with like learning skills as you played, somehow skill capturing or skill something. But that is also being intended to bring back into Guild Wars 3. So,
which I'm super interested in, the skill collection thing.
Yeah, skill collection. Yep, that.
Yeah, that I'm really curious about. I know the way that Final Fantasy does it with the Blue Mage is actually kind of unique, because you really need to find like an enemy, a specific kind of enemy, to and slay them. Basically, you're a spell thief is what it is. So you need to find somebody who can cast it before you can yoink it from them.
Yeah. That's really interesting. I like it. Okay. Real quick, a couple of things that I'm finding just as we're talking about the MMO Lites conversation. According to PC Gamer, Guild Wars 3 in quotes and unquotes is significantly more of an MMO than the first game, but that doesn't mean that it's like Guild Wars 2. All three of the games can coexist as different experiences. And one of the things I'm going to be kind of double checking here is talking about how ArenaNet confirmed that Guild Wars 3 will be an MMORPG in the broad sense, but it will not replicate the large-scale worldwide PvP and PvE pillars of Guild Wars 2. I'm double checking on that right now as we discuss things. But instead, it's designed to feel more like a small group cooperative adventure set in a single region of Ore with a single playable faction, the Veil Wardens. And the approach aligns more with the MMO Lite model seen in games like Where Winds Meet. So if you like Where Winds Meet, it apparently has more of that type of model, supposedly. Where the MMO tag is used, but the gameplay is much more niche and less about massive concurrent player counts. So take with that as you will. This is also a Google, what do you call it, summary. So that's why I'm double checking everything I'm just saying right now. I'm just saying what I'm being told.
But yeah, I know in Guild Wars 1 there was something about capturing elite skills out in the world. Anybody could do it, but I think there was some kind of limitation on who could use what kind of things, or what kind of skills you could capture. But I could be wrong on that. Like I said, it's been a hot minute.
Yeah.
I only really played for a couple years when Guild Wars 1 came out. Like, I started at launch, and I still have the cloak. It was a special cloak that was given out at launch for that one.
Well, I like the elite specialization in Guild Wars 2. I don't like how the base class becomes obsolete. So Necros can't run with a bunch of minions, or Engineer can't run with turrets and be comparably effective to the elite specs.
Well, I would say yes and no. Because you, in my mind anyway, because specifically I have a Necro and I run with the Reaper spec, but I still run around with a bunch of minions. Like I have a bar full of minion casts, uh, for certain situations anyway. When I'm out just trying to like have a good time, when I'm trying to go for the most damage or the most self healing or whatever, then yeah, I got to switch my spec up. But that's the other
Mhm.
great thing about Guild Wars 2 is you can build up such a variety of specs and then switch between them based on the situation. Go over to this part of a single map and fight this one group of mobs and use like an AoE setup and just mow everything down and in a giant group, and then go over here and face a boss monster and you switch up to a different spec and it's a different weapon, it's a different skill set. um Again, in my case, it's a difference of, do I use 4 summons, 5 summons, 0 summons, 1 summon, and it kind of bounces around. But yeah, to some degree or another, once the elite specialist specs come into play, you see people start to really use those because they are, I mean, they are elite, right? But they also kind of pigeonhole you into a certain play style as well.
Yeah. Um, I'm trying to find. So yeah, so on the Guild Wars 3 homepage, it does say play solo or form a band of adventurers, forging impactful and enduring bonds with fellow players, a formative cast of memorable NPCs, and the nature spirits that call or home. And a lot of people are pointing out that Guild Wars 1 was not really an MMO, and Guild Wars 2 is more of a full-fledged MMO. So, yeah, I'm saying with all of those signs, it is pointing towards being more of an MMO light, despite the cross-platform. It's more of the nature of how the game is intended to play.
Yeah. And welcome in, by the way,
So
Gambly.
yeah, welcome in. If that is not something that you find interesting or part of what you want to try out, then that's absolutely understandable. However, I'm super interested. And I guess this brings me to the next conversation piece of, do you think we would adjust? Because obviously we really enjoyed Animo, for those that were here for Animo. And it was asked if we were going to pivot to maybe become primarily playing Animo as a community. And I will say I will be playing Animo. I don't know about primarily as TGF. Definitely personally, I'll be playing it a lot. But
Yes, yes, yes.
uh, is is that something that we want to also consider with our new home perspective or our new home intentions? Do we want to also expand into MMO Lites? And if so, is that something that we go on a journey with after we get done with getting through World of Warcraft?
Yeah, and that's a very good question, to be honest. And I really think the answer to that is really gonna have to develop naturally. We're really just gonna have to feel how things go, because as much as I would say that, let's do just MMOs because that's what we've always done. But what if we don't really enjoy like the full tilt MMOs that are out, as opposed to like an MMO light, or for that matter, we're starting to spend more time going out to conventions, especially working with Nomnivore, and actually working at conventions. So with that, might bring us back to another goal that we wanted to do, which was interact more with the indie games and things that are up and coming, and play some new stuff and bring new things to everybody's eyes that are hidden in the dark back rooms of conventions, and hey, does somebody want to play my game corner of reality.
Like Voyages of Nira?
Yeah, exactly. Like Voyages of Nero. We go to this random event we'd never heard of, at a bar we'd never heard of, that's like 6 blocks away from PAX, and we end up accidentally just bumping into a great game that's sitting there on the first floor that not many people are visiting in the area. And
Yeah,
we
and
say, hey,
on
this
top
is
of
actually pretty
that,
fantastic. Let's do this.
we have people in our community actively asking when we're playing it again.
Yeah.
So that's a
Which,
pretty good sign for us, at least.
think we should talk about that later on today, by the way, too.
We can, if you are ready.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. But that being said, I think with games like Guild Wars 3, and I think to add or piggyback off of Vertec, my answer is it's situational, right? With games like Guild Wars 3 that are intended to be created and continued to be iterated upon with updates and things like that, I do see a future potentially where the Tavern is somewhat of a variety content platform. And I'm not mad at it, honestly, because it keeps things a little bit more fresh. It keeps us having things to discuss and talk about and share with you guys, and allows us to pull into different communities that we maybe not be able to pull into if we stuck with one game, for example. But things like Animo and Guild Wars 3, I'd be more likely to continue covering because they're, at least with Guild Wars 3 specifically, because I don't know that much about Animo, to be honest, but there's an intention to continue developing and iterating and creating more content for it. And I was telling Vertec, I think earlier today even, the problem with RPGs is you get something like my favorite game. You got Horizon Zero Dawn, you've got the Forbidden West that came out eventually, but there's not really active updates and news pieces and events going on in that. It's, hey, here's the game and this is the game. And that's great and I appreciate it, but it doesn't really give us much to discuss in the long run outside of like, what did you think about playing that game? Which I think has its own merits, but in terms of what you and I were intending on covering, it's a little bit different.
Yeah, yeah, and it also makes me think of, so what if it were to go kind of the opposite end of the awkward spectrum of MMO Lite, where they present basically a chat room that you can get together with people and jump into the game and do stuff with. Maybe that's the extra end of the spectrum too that they could go with for Guild Wars 3. But I really think, like, I don't know, there's going to be a whole lot of wait and see.
Absolutely.
And there's so much what's the word? Theorizing
Nice.
that one could do with what little information has been put out, yet what information there is to glean from Guild Wars 1 and 2, and the fact that they're supposed to be landing in the middle is the
Yeah. Dusty was actually talking about doing more variety. Dusty is more variety than we are, so that doesn't surprise me. He was already hopping between like 2 or 3 different games before we even got to like Guild Wars 2.
Yeah, and sorry, I didn't say it out loud. My brain was just working and it popped into a break, but I was kind of responding a little bit to gambling dedicated's statement with
apologies.
The issue is that play solo or with a group is something that they can say about both Guild Wars 1 and 2, not really something that points to MMO Lite. I was kind of responding a little bit to that one. I didn't say that as a preface though.
Okay. To add on to that, though, that's even the case with Final Fantasy 14, where they added in the solo ability for you to play by yourself if you want. But that doesn't take away from the MMO-ness, RPG-ness of it. I don't know what the
MMO-ness? Is that your spin on the PvP-ness?
Yes.
I love it. But yeah, I think in general, the question that you asked about like where should we go, I think it's going to be just a what feels right. That's the direction we're going to go to.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think covering a little bit of everything really is, like you said, kind of going to be the direction we do go. I do always feel better having an MMO that I can play and go to and call home, and everything else is just my adventures outside the MMO when I need to take a break or no one else feels like playing. Walk away for a few minutes and you made MMORPG-ness.
But yeah, at the end of the day for me, and I think maybe this is just my taste changing as I as I get older. Honestly,
You're
just
old.
having a space where my friends are. I think that's all I really care about. As much as I really love MMORPGs, I do find myself wanting at least just to have a home where our friends are and we're all hanging out together and just enjoying whatever game we're jumping in on.
Yeah.
All that to say, I think it's not saying we will focus on MMO Lites or MMORPGs, but we'll focus on the game that feels like home.
Yes,
And that might work too. Oops.
Sorry, no,
I'm
go ahead.
attacking my mic.
I'm actually gonna look up something here real quick here. Excuse me.
In the way of conversation, there is a Thogli has happened to find his way back to the tavern and is currently in the live stream queue.
Oh. Well, then if you want to hook him in, I will drop the thing that I was gonna say real quick, which was going to be that be prepared, folks, because there's gonna be some cyberpunk content coming up.
Yes.
For those who don't know, now you know. The cyberpunk trading card game is coming out here real soon. Real soon. And there's the beta events on September 10th and 17th coming up.
You may have peeped a couple of the cyberpunk trading card boxes that Vertec got from Gen Con.
Yeah, I got a couple of the demo boxes from playing some games there. I ended up with, and I'm super stoked about this, 2 of the Rebecca promo cards. Rebecca's best girl.
I want to cosplay as either Rebecca or as Lucy. Maybe that'll be a question to you all. But if we are good to say hi, hello, Thogli.
We are good to say hi.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, friend.
Good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. Just enjoying a good frosty beverage, of course.
Heckin' yeah.
Oh, of course.
Cheers to that.
Gotta have a good frosty beverage.
We found the dwarf. He was under the table the entire time.
Apparently hiding in the blankets. I saw you guys in chat.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with Barback, but I keep getting hay put in their blankets. Like, what's up with that?
He probably just was like, hey, if you're not really paying rent, I can't really give you premium services, so I want you to stay warm, so here's at least some hay.
Here's something for you.
I'll have a conversation with him later. It'll be fine.
That works.
But Noobtastic says you could make some really cool cyberpunk stuffs on that Hyper Gears machine, Vertec. Just saying.
Heckin' yeah, absolutely. Which, by the way, Sir Noob, we need to start putting our brains together.
Yes, we did back it.
We have some things. We have some things we need to start creating.
Yeah, Gracie, thank you for sharing that. I think anybody who may have missed it previously would be grateful of that. And yeah, perfect. Especially for people like tuning in now on like Guild Wars 2 and Guild Wars 3 things. So thank you for that. The machine is legit. Been chatting with peeps and got their hands on it. Ooh, really? They got their hands on it already? Nice.
Yeah, the only concern I have with it is going to be the lack of saturation in colors, but you can adjust for that, I'm sure, right?
We'll see. But Bean was saying we haven't figured out what Barback looks like, and I feel like we should do that before the end of the year. Because how cute would it be to have a little Barback sign that says like, "Hey, we're away for like Christmas or something, Happy Holidays or whatever."
Yeah,
as like whenever we're away.
And I gotta say, I'm loving the whole let Discord peoples kind of decide what Barback's supposed to look like based on how they've been imagining him. Because I had something totally different in mind when I was like, Barback, yeah, Barback's gonna help us out, and I just started spinning out the name to him doing everything in like the Discord and on Twitch and whatnot. It had something totally different in my mind, so I'm enjoying watching what's created by everybody in Discord.
Honestly, my lore and the lore I would like to put in our future like TGF Tavern booklet for whatever TTRPG you want to include us in is that Barback is a shapeshifter, like a changeling, if you will, and appears as whatever the viewer wants them to look like. However, I would like some things to remain like the eye color is always the same and like maybe the hairstyle is always the same, but like whatever race and height and things like that ends up being whatever the viewer views them as. I thought that would be nice.
Indeed. But yeah, I won't taint the view everybody else has in their mind. I want to see what it comes out like, and that's going to be the official Barback version. But then I'll share what he looked like and how he behaved in my mind.
Okay. So Thogly, you popped in. Is there anything you wanted to discuss in particular? Also, hi Zeke, welcome in.
Discuss. All I know is
because of discuss. I came here to drink.
I did come here to drink. I 100% came here to drink.
Tavern talk conversation. Like this is the Tavern talk live stream. So,
but I do want to discuss a little bit on MMO Lites. I'm not a fan of MMO Lites. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I'm a hardcore MMO gamer, and every time I come across someone that says it's an MMO Lite, I just don't understand. Like, what is it that really makes the difference between an MMO and an MMO Lite? I just don't understand.
All right. Have you played Warframe?
No.
Okay. Well, did you play Guild Wars 1?
I did play Guild Wars 1.
Okay, Guild Wars 1 is MMO Lite. Because you went to town and you were like, hey guys, what's going on? Let's do all our chatting here. Recruiting group. Cool, we got a group. And then you left town and then there was nobody. That's an MMO Lite. You have like social hubs that you hang out in. You gather your group and then you leave and there's nobody else out there.
Hub MMOs. Gotcha.
They're also calling survival MMO Lites like Enshrouded, where there's up to 16 players per server. So for me, as Vertec pointed out, the definition is somewhat enigmatic, where it can be you have one globally social hub that's public with everybody, and then you've got more limited play out in the main world. And then you've got what is, in my opinion, just a multiplayer co-op that has up to X amount of people. Like Voyages of Nira, for example, there's no main hub for that. Same with, I think, Enshrouded. But the other example that was given, I don't know if you played Where Winds Meet.
I have not.
But
I'm not gonna lie. If the MMO doesn't have a dwarf, I really don't play it.
Not surprising.
Did you get into that one MMO or that one game? I don't even know if it was supposed to be an MMO or whatever, but the all dwarf everything. Yeah, I think it was an MMO.
Of course I did. Yes.
How is it? Because I didn't get to play it. Because I know I was trying to con you into playing it, but you had stuff going on, and then when you didn't, we did, and then when we didn't, you did, and we never could connect and play.
It wasn't that great.
Because I was going to say it sounded interesting, but it looked like it was going to be very much not graphically entertaining whatsoever.
No, it was not.
Yeah.
But it's also, I think, like super early in the development, right? I think
it is. It really is. DRG, Deep Rock Galactic, is something I definitely enjoy. So
nice.
The Snackle Box. Yes, Erwin, exactly. Snackle Box.
Yeah. People do think that the fourth race for Guild Wars 3 is dwarf, which they have not told us yet. They've given us, and that kind of brings me into the main point, one of the main points for tonight, which is discussing the approach to the playable races in Guild Wars 3. We definitely have 3 of them that have been given to us. We've got humans and Asura, as well as, all right, that's previous for Guild Wars 2. The third one is something we've met before that will be playable for the first time. So if you guys can rack your brains and figure out what that is, this is my first time playing Guild Wars 2, so everything's new to me. But we have and this week, starting this week, they'll tell us more about the lore of each species and what's making them unique in order during the timeline for Guild Wars 3, which are actually made by the studio's narrative team. I thought that was really interesting. But
I've not. Yeah, I've heard of Guild Wars 3 like having dwarves, but where was this put? Because I've been searching. It's been like word of mouth from what I've heard from people say that there's going to be dwarves in Guild Wars 3.
Probably in the Guild Wars official Discord. It's but Basil is saying dwarves were lost to history in Guild Wars 2, but it's deep in the game lore. And if Guild Wars 3 timeline-wise takes place between Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2, or was it before Guild Wars 1 even, Vertec? I forgot. I'm getting confused. There's so many things.
There is. So my theory is it's going to be one of the elder races, and I just had to look it up just to make sure I remembered what they were. So there were 5 species that were around and survived the previous dragon rise. They include the dwarves, Forgotten, Jotun, Mersat, and the Seers.
Oh wait, sorry. I stopped talking. So we have humans and Asura, and the third one is a species that you've met before but you haven't played before, which is their bear people, the Kodan. The fourth is a new species whose story connects deeply to Or's past, but it has been lost to history. That's verbatim from their Guild Wars 3 thing. I just stopped reading too early. The fourth is a new species whose story connects deeply to Or's past, but has been lost to history.
Okay, and I'm not
like
sure which one's
as in stone, like ore.
No, or there's an area of Tyria called ORR.
Yeah, ORR. Or's past.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Or it says as long as I get thief, daggers, and stealth.
And yeah, it may even, as Gambling said, be a legit brand new species that we've never even heard of. Yeah, it's a fun way for them to make something new. And I mean, there's also like even elves don't exist, I believe, in the Guild Wars lineage. But I think that this is kind of fun because there's a lot of lore to play with for Guild Wars 3. There's a lot of things that don't really match for Guild Wars 1 and 2, but would make sense for Guild Wars 3 given the timeline. But also, my other favorite thing about this is they are trying to do an approach, because they said at launch you'll have 4 playable species, and they're going to have like a different approach to building playable characters for Guild Wars 3 in order to support the expanded options in the future of different characters and things like that. This kind of reminds me of a conversation I was having with Kate and Derek about Diva versus the new person being offered in Overwatch, which also has a mech. The way that they built Diva, they built her in a way that they can't really do much updates to her. So this new playable character, I haven't been following Overwatch, has updated code that allows them to potentially do a lot more versatility with it. I'm kind of imagining something similar where, Demon instead of Diva. But I'm kind of imagining something similar with the versatility of, it's here's a new base of like how creatures look and how they act and things like that. And then this is what we can play with going forward. As long as the humanoid enough is on the table at this point. Yeah. Better have fishing or Erwin's going to have a problem. I'd love to have fishing. Is there fishing in Guild Wars? I don't know.
Of all the things, I haven't really engaged with any of the crafting stuff. That's one thing I was just talking about the last time I was on streaming, is I've not really engaged at all with the crafting. And I want to, I just never got around to it. So I have a bank that is full of materials. And then my bags that I'm carrying around are the overflow, which don't fit into the like massive storage in the bank. Gotcha. And they're just materials sitting there waiting to be crafted. And I don't want to throw them away. I don't want to sell them because I might need them, but yet I haven't started using them. So yeah. One of these days.
And I'm pretty sure, going back to something Erwin asked, I'm pretty sure they're... okay, this is saying no official carryover. For Guild Wars 2, I thought I heard something about there was like some sort of Guild Wars 2 achievement that you can get in Guild Wars 3, but I think that was right about the same time they were saying with the announcement of Guild Wars 3 that you can get a Guild Wars 3 shirt as a cosmetic in game for Guild Wars 2. Unfortunately, we missed that window because we were gone. But yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think some of the issues will roll into Guild Wars 3. Yeah, it makes sense because they had that do with Guild Wars 1 into Guild Wars 2. So it would make sense that they'd have some sort of achievement from Guild Wars 2 into Guild Wars 3. Or even Guild Wars 1 into Guild Wars 3. I could see something like that. So, especially like, correct me if I'm wrong, there's apparently like some really hard to get achievements in Guild Wars.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like really, really hard.
Yeah, and there's a lot of the story system and, well, not story system really, but like game system, expansion system, whatever, is kind of based around it, because you purchase an expansion, even if it's a small one, and all the different chapters will have a little symbol next to it to really show you if you haven't started it yet, or if you've collected some achievements, or if you collected all of them. It'll give you extra bonus points on your basically your account's notoriety, for lack of better phrasing. So yeah, there's absolutely some achievements that people are still trying to get because they're tough.
That's really, really cool. I like that. I mean, that gives you like not only a source of pride, but like a lifelong thing that you can still strive for versus it being like no longer available. I remember going achievement hunting, so
yeah, and that's
fantastic. Sorry,
I was just gonna say, and that's me. I'm the 100%er. I need to get all the stuff I need to, especially if it's a new game and you start out getting everything done. It's a lot easier to continue keeping everything done, and that's going to be my obsession.
That's fair. But yeah, Newtastic shared AI suggestions on what the race could be, and then Erwin goes, "You said dwarves wrong." So Gambling says, but as the gods are walking among human in Guild Wars 3, they should change it into mortal walking amongst mere gods or something of the like. Yeah. That'd be interesting. I did see a question somewhere about what Or would be like without the giant dragons everywhere. I think something along that line.
Sorry, I missed it. I was reading Bean's comment. Give that bitch a task. Bitches love tasks. From a bitch that loves tasks.
Nice.
I was trying to think of a smart response to that, but what was it you were saying at the exact time my brain was not paying attention?
I'm trying to figure that out again.
Oh my goodness. Too short attention span people.
No, not necessarily. I'm just making sure I got it right.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen a game out there yet where, like, between expansions you keep achievements, or between different versions of it you keep achievements, and I just wish that would be something a game developer could do, just for straight up, showing people, I've been playing this kind of game since, version 1 or 2, say they're all like 5 versions of that game. That would be really neat. Because it's kind of like, what is it? The legacy and old World of Warcraft achievements that they have now, right?
Oh, feats of strength. Like they exist, like, and there's like quote unquote scores for them, but they don't count towards your big score necessarily.
Yeah.
You can't get them anymore.
I have quite a few of those, from way back in the day whenever I played that. But it's like, if they were able to, if a different game would be able to do that, that'd be really neat.
I'm just saying, games with housing would absolutely make a killing by having people go back and play other games to earn heirlooms that you can put up for display in your house that people can visit and look at and be like, oh shit, they got the thingamajob. And it's not obtainable in any way, shape, or form in the new game unless you like beat the thing or did the whatever or collected enough prestige in the other game. And just you'll just have your own little personal museum in the basement of your house.
Yeah. Bean says it's also nice having so that my hours of hunting something doesn't feel wasted when a new one comes out. Yeah, I'd like to see more stuff also kind of kick off between different expansions and things like that. I'm kind of second guessing myself, and I'm nervous to like repeat what I said, but I thought that somewhere they had posted something asking what would Ore feel like without so many of like the dragons being around.
Gotcha.
Well, dwarves aren't there to slay the dragons, so I don't know.
Or be turned into dragon snacks, one or the other. They are bite size, you have to admit.
Bite size.
It's like popcorn with the crunchy exterior.
Also, Visions of Eternity Code of Creation is arriving on September 15th. With new story chapters, an explorable map, fractal, raid encounter, convergence mastery, legendary swords, achievements, rewards, and more. And they currently have a community poll to let them know what content in the upcoming update that you're most excited for. Shortly after the Code of Creation update, they'll be releasing challenge modes and a legendary mode for the new instance group content to help the community coordinate and plan. They put out a whole release schedule. That sounds interesting. I love how much they're constantly doing. What is a really bad idea? Oh no, what did I miss? Saying with them create some that are limited for flexing purposes. The games do no FOMO too good.
Yeah, like FOMO achievements in Guild Wars 2. I think honestly, like Guild Wars 2 at least has a good system for it, because when you go back to those chapters to try to do those achievements, you're basically at that chapter's power level.
Yeah.
You can get a little bit of an advantage, especially with more game experience and whatnot, but I don't know. I think honestly a game launch and things like that would be a good chance for a limited time achievement. Like give it a good like 6 months or something like that, but then close it off. Like a good amount of time for people to say, hey, I don't want to do it at launch because bugs and all that, so I'm not going to be there day of, but give it a month for, you know, all the big bugs to come through, all the issues with servers to iron out, and then if it fizzles out a little bit, and then maybe I'll jump in like 2 months in or something.
Or what about like seasonal, like limited time ones that can come back? Like when I'm thinking about that, I'm thinking of like the Headless Horseman in World of Warcraft, and being able to get like achievements whenever like Halloween or summer comes back through.
I don't know. I've always been kind of a fan of the limited time stuff to a degree. Like if there was one, you know, every single quarter of every year that was brand new and unique and would never be seen again, I would think that would get a little bit ridiculous. But just when some of them just get taken out of rotation for one reason or another, I think I've always been a fan of that, even if I miss them, because I think it gives you a really good bit of prestige.
Yeah. I honestly don't know that answer, Erwin. I don't know that answer. Everyone's asking if they're going to keep the same classes in non-Holy Trinity.
Man, they've been allergic to the Holy Trinity since forever. I'm pretty sure they're probably going to stay that way.
Probably that one, but I'm just saying I don't know about the classes part specifically. We don't. There's a lot we don't know. I mean, they've been very slow to release information. They're milking it, in my opinion. My favorite WoW event was the drinking one. Yeah. Guild Wars 2 does that. You can get everything from past festivals. Yeah. I'm saying I'm fine with like a FOMO of like, oh, you just missed this, but if you tune in next year, like you'll be able to get it, and it gives you something to look forward to.
Yeah. Because at least those, like, they're limited times where you can grab them, but it might take you, you know, a couple years of remembering to log in and do them during the holiday. But you can collect them, but in the meantime, somebody else already collected all those the first year, and then moving on to everything else.
Yeah. Like, I remember being really excited over getting the tailoring recipes for their Christmas outfits in World of Warcraft. Just because when I was younger, I was playing with my dad. He'd had like the Christmas outfits and everything. And then when I got older and I was playing by myself, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can still get like the recipes for this. This is really cool. So having things like that with Guild Wars would be nice from year to year. Or, I mean, obviously, I don't know about Guild Wars 1. You guys can talk to more of that. But obviously in Guild Wars 2, housing and everything is such a big part of it. And I think housing is such a big part of the overall community that plays MMOs at this point that it would be kind of silly, in my opinion, to not include housing in Guild Wars 3.
And it's 2026. Everything MMO like should have housing. Every one of them.
I mean, Animo has housing.
Yeah. I mean, so. It has housing. I mean, like you're saying, kind of, you can do more inside your space than you can inside the RV that's in everybody else's space. But a lot of it's, I'm just saying, mine may or may not have had some very slight resemblance to a sweatshop. And was not nearly laid out in an organized fashion outside of what's the most efficient thing to keep all my animos working. But I will neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah. Gambling says, I do believe they will add housing 100%. They wouldn't invest so much into it for Guild Wars 2 if they weren't using it for Guild Wars 3 as well, in my opinion. Honestly, I would also like to see some housing things from Guild Wars 2 be able to be in Guild Wars 3. Like if you got some sort of rare housing something or other, I don't know. I think that's a little harder because again, timeline needs to make sense, but still. Noobtastic says, my biggest worry right now for Guild Wars 3 is the lack of info we have is the skill point system. Not a fan of how Guild Wars 2 does it. It's not a total deal breaker, but it's important for me. And that makes sense. But I wouldn't be too worried about it just because, again, it's not like at the end of this year are we having the beta testing. It's the end of next year. We have an entire year for them to give us more information. Yeah. And that's only what, beta?
That's brutal.
I'm starting to feel like I am in the very much minority when it comes to it, but I mean, very much minority in our normal circle, right? I actually really enjoyed how Guild Wars 2 skills and everything worked because it was very simple on the surface, but you could dive in very, very deep if you wanted to and go kind of crazy with it. Because, I mean, you figure you can mix skills between like, what the heck does Necromancer have? Like 6 different skill flavors. And then within those, you can choose 1 or 2 or 5 of them to drop on your hotbar, and within those you can adjust them also by a little bit, because I think it was there was one common thing, but you could like bounce up or down, like choose between 2 options like 4 or 5 times across the bar for each different skill flavor. So it's like there was so much customization you could do that each individual piece was surface level and kind of basic, but when you combine it all, it's a massive amount of variety and flavor you could really work into your build.
Yeah. Bean says, I dislike how long that is between knowing now and when it will be in beta. Like, why milk it like that? I don't think that they're doing it necessarily just to milk it like that. I mean, part of it is building up the PR and the excitement of, hey, here's this product, right? But it's also actively in development. It's not like, let's say it's ready for beta today and they're waiting a year and they're doing that. It's a whole other intention. They're still actively working on it and building it and things like that. But I mean, the beta begins fall of 2027, and just to note on this webpage, it's a chance to get to be a part of the betas in 2027. So one thing somebody pointed out was that like they had done this similarly for Guild Wars 2, and people had missed like, no, I'm not logging in or signing up for the access to it. I'm logging in for a chance to get access to it.
Now, let me just throw this out for context. Dean, I forget exactly how long you were doing the Following Ashes thing, but a couple of us were hanging out since 2017 and still having minimal info on some systems that were apparently in the works. So I'm kind of like, oh, it's only a year away. That's such a little amount of time. Yeah,
we've heard it before.
Your face is heard before.
Only a year away.
It's very common that games get pushed back. I mean, GTA 6, when was that supposed to come out? Also Fable, when was that
Final
supposed
Fantasy
to come out?
VII Reworked was pushed back like 6 years.
Yeah, so like, we're no strangers to things getting pushed back, but at the end of the day, though, it is intended with a streamlined company who has put stuff out before, saying next year we're going to have a beta. Which means between now and then they're doing alpha testing, which could adjust some of like the main things that are going on. But again, 1 year is 1 year. I don't know. It's not really that big of a deal. We waited far longer for Ashes. Many, many years for Ashes. 1 year is nothing in comparison. And I have plenty of games to keep me busy in this next year. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So while I understand where a lot of you are coming from with like the, oh my God, it's a year, it's not affecting me at all. Similar at all.
Yeah, I'm just enjoying my drinks in between the time. So
yeah, and I mean, I've got Animo to try. I've got Fable whenever it finally comes out to try. I've got so many games to be going through that I'm more than happy for it to take a year. Let me get through some of these games, see where I feel about them in a year, and decide where that fits in with my rotation personally. Also, that allows Vertec and I the time that we need to kind of readjust, realign post Ashes. Like, it's still like months since then, and I can't believe it's already been like 6-7 months since then, but it's still something that affects us a little bit in the way that we're trying to figure out what we like and things like that. And yeah, Guild Wars 3 has been a rumor since forever. So I feel like that with you is like, yeah, confident that they'll be delivering 6-7 hee. They'll be delivering the beta next year. And it's basically one of those things where I was pretty sure I heard about Guild Wars 3, and I just kind of had that on my side of like, does this exist? Does this exist? And then in June, it was like, hi guys, we exist. And I was like, oh my God, it does exist.
But yeah, Guild Wars 3 has been a quote unquote rumor for so long. Like,
yeah.
Pretty sure they were probably working on it during most of those rumors, if not all of them.
Yeah. Also, welcome in, Stats. Oh, that's tiny. Hold on. My chat bot is not working, so I need to do this slash Vice. I almost called you Stats Vice / Vice. Welcome in. We are very curious to see how Guild Wars 3 ends up being. And Bean, I'm not saying you're necessarily complaining. I'm just saying it for a good amount of people that is kind of an oof. But
yeah, it's either way, like, to sum up all the Guild Wars 3 stuff, like we don't know much. We know a lot of theories that have been thrown around for a while, and now we have a little bit more than theories with a little bit of surface layer info tossed out there, and now there's even more theories being thrown around and a lot more confusion, yet a lot more excitement. So all in all, it's this 1 year is going to come very, very slowly for some people and very, very quickly for others.
Wow. Yeah. I'm stuck waiting mode for so much right now. Yeah, exactly, Noobtastic. Best I can do is tree fitty. Gambling says basically they wanted to end Guild Wars 2 development by the end of the Living World Ice Brood saga and start working on Guild Wars 3, and NCSoft pulled them, I guess, by their ears, asked if they were crazy. Yeah, of course. And yeah, we are also very curious to see how the game is going to play for Guild Wars 3. And we're very excited. We both signed up already, just in case anybody is curious and wants to try to sign up for a chance at it. I'm going to go ahead and pop this out here. If you haven't already, you can sign up for their beta opportunities and the newsletter. Additionally, you can wishlist on Steam and on PlayStation. And that all kind of helps them with like the interest from the community and things like that. So
I guess I'll sign up.
I guess so.
I do know at minimum Vertec and I are going to be jumping in as soon as we are allowed to.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
Still gonna be upset if there aren't bearded treasures there. Just saying.
I know. But what if there's a cosmetic to turn yourself into a bearded treasure?
Sign me up.
Okay.
And we're in.
Yeah.
But yeah, for those of you that don't know, that are maybe new, like gambling and slash, I have only played a little bit of Guild Wars 3 or 2. I haven't even played Guild Wars 3. You can't. Guild Wars 2, I've gotten to level 30. I was thinking about that. I've only gotten to level 30. I have a little bit of experience in doing some of the artisan stuff, but I haven't gotten into too much of the crafting. And I kind of started over with a new character with Vertec, and I'm playing Guardian, and I forgot what character I was playing. And then I realized Guild Wars does this really cool thing where the last character you're playing is all the way to the left. And I was just sitting there staring at all of these characters going, what am I doing?
Hello?
Hello? Help?
Yes,
so,
Vice,
you're
sorry, go ahead.
Yep.
Let's say yes, Vice. So basically, you're kind of on the same footing that Chibi is, where she didn't start playing for the first time this year, but she played for a very small sliver of time. It was like a couple of weeks a few years ago, and now we're diving back into it.
Mm-hmm. I haven't got into Guild Wars 2 that much either. I have a ranger and a necromancer. I'm so new. Very nice. I went horizontally, in which I have like 2 or 3 characters between level 20 and 30. And 1 level 80 character that I got for free. And of course, apparently made her the most difficult one ever. But yeah, I've primarily played a little bit. Hydrate. And then got made fun of for being bad at jump puzzles. Mm-hmm.
We would never.
By the way, just as a precursing announcement, I am currently planning out our Halloween themed charity stream. And one of the things that we want to offer is a tormented segment for Vertec and I. I'm going to tell Vertex first because I want him to cringe first, and then I'll tell you mine because I'm going to cringe a lot more probably. We're going to make Vertex play a dating sim.
Oh Lord!
Yes,
oh
I'm
Lord!
there for it. I'm so there for it.
Oh Lord!
I'm either going to be playing a platform game or a rhythm game, and I'm very bad at both. They both have required coordination that I do not own. So
I guarantee you, hers is going to be a lot more entertaining to watch. Just saying.
Yeah. I think we've kind of narrowed it down to 1 to 2 options, which is either Monster Prom or Hooked on You, which is the Dead by Daylight dating sim. So, let us know.
Basil says play Dream Daddy. I'm assuming that's probably going to be a Tavern After Dark game.
Right?
Do we want a Tavern After Dark segment that will be only for members, probably?
Oh my.
I forgot about Dream Daddy. I feel you. I played exclusively a turn-based MMO in my formative years. I don't have it in me to play stuff like that. No. No. I'm very bad at coordinating. I'm moderately okay at video games, but I have a lot of fun doing it, so it's fine. And Slash, by the way, says I'm new to World of Warcraft as well. I'm new to MMOs in general, so everything is new, and I'm loving it, and that's awesome. I would not to just like plug us,
Chaos.
but I'd like to invite you. Why did it dual post? I only had it posting to Twitch.
Raid.
I don't know, but all I know is Jimmy Chaos celebrated on in. How you folks doing, by the way? Is it just you, Jimmy? I didn't even see. I think. Was it the both of you? Was it the both of you? I think it was. All I know is you said you were going live with, what was it, 12.1, and what was your announcement? Like, watch me get distracted immediately. How'd that go, by the way? You have a good old time?
Yeah.
Defend the tavern, says Oracle.
Yes.
Oh, champion. Oh, okay.
To finish what I was saying to Slash, I wanted to invite you to join our Discord because we are also on an MMORPG journey. And if you ever have any questions about like Guild Wars or World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy 14 or ESO, we have people that have played a variety of those. So I wanted to make sure that you felt welcomed in that, and that happened to be right in the middle of a raid message.
The timing all around.
Yeah.
Because also, like Noob was saying, Tavern After Dark was mentioned, and then out of nowhere comes in a Chaos raid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, of course, Slash. I've played MMOs since I was like 13. I am obsessed with MMORPGs. I like anything somewhat like MMORPGs. I'm also obsessed with like TTRPGs. So if you like tabletop roleplay games as well, which kind of brings me back to a turnabout, because I saw a while back in the chat and I just didn't have the chance to bring it up, but I saw Oracle saying even having some TTRPG related content more so would be nice. Which, Vertec, do you have the new little toy handy dandy up there?
The new toy handy dandy?
Mm-hmm, the one you picked up.
Door for the donut wins. Heck yeah.
The one that you picked up that arrived that you were unboxing?
Oh.
Streamer rigged.
This one?
Yes, that one.
I like how for some reason the camera went no signal for a quick second as soon as I held up the other camera.
It got jealous. Like your camera was like, no, I'm not getting replaced by this one. But we got this camera, and this is actually more specifically a content creator bundle version of this camera. Yes, the redacted item. But this is actually what I use to film a lot of our Gen Con stuff with. Why not GCX? Well, because we didn't have GCX stuff yet. But it's really nice and portable, and I actually have an interview for those that are wanting some TTRPG stuff. I have an interview with Gooey Cube talking about what content that they have, and about like how they're community oriented as well. So I'm putting that together as a video to share out with you guys. So very excited. I had a phone that used to do that screen flippy thing. Yeah, that screen flippy thing is my favorite for two reasons. One, as Vertex showed you, you can pull it off. So I was able to set the tripod up a little distance away and then orient the tripod to put me in the frame. And then two, if you do the flippy thing, it's supposed to automatically turn it into vertical. But the better vertical is to hold it horizontally, and then it will automatically go vertical. Can you show them that?
No.
Just move it.
That takes configuration to do that.
No, it's automatically me.
Just that? Yeah, no.
Just hold the
flippy thingy.
That doesn't take configuration. See how it flips automatically to go vertical? That is the better way of filming vertical content. I played with it for hours. I know what I'm talking about.
Thought you were talking about like how you can flip this screen and it would automatically flip everything to go vertical or horizontal. That takes a configuration. Yeah. We haven't set it up.
You can do that, but at base it turns it off, I think, and on.
Yeah.
But yes, new gadgets that are gonna let us be able to do better content while we're on the road with you guys. I actually wish we had that for GCX now, because I captured something really cute on my phone, which was not as ideal because that thing is on a gimbal. So yeah. Yes, the eye in Pixar. I've also been told Wall-E. This reminds people of Wall-E.
I just love it.
So yeah,
it's a gimbal camera.
But whenever we go to events and things like that, that's what we want to start using. I forgot how I got on that tangent, but I just wanted to show like we have things we're working on. And the TTRPG stuff. Yeah, I used that to film the interview. I
will say it came with a really cool microphone, though.
Oh yeah, Vertex all about this microphone.
I am. Look, check it out. It's a little circular thing, and if it'll show up, we're able to get the Golden Feather logo on there.
There you go.
Yeah, there we are.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
It actually shows on there. It's like electronic ink.
Yeah.
You put it into the app and it pops up there. Yeah.
He was like, hear me out, QR code.
Yeah. Easy peasy. QR code on the mic. Talk with people, do stuff. And then if they want to know where to go to do stuff and check us out, we can just be like, here, scan this. Show them the microphone.
Oh, man. No worries, Slash. No worries. The connecting for YouTube primarily will help with, like, if you become a YouTube member, it'll give you access to the patron section automatically. We are actually working on redoing our memberships over on YouTube as well. So yeah, things. I would blame Jamie. He has a knack of starting tangents just by being in the room.
True story. True story.
But yeah, welcome Raiders of Jamie, whoever ended up coming with. I didn't see anybody necessarily type that came from there, but if you're here and you're lurking, we welcome you all the same. So I know Jamie's been on that World of Warcraft grind. For the rest of this month, we're doing Guild Wars 2. And then I think we're kind of pivoting a little bit. Did you want to discuss a little bit about like some of the ideas we had with the streaming schedule, or is that something we're still trying to fine tune?
I mean, I don't think it'd hurt to talk about like the general idea that we're thinking about right now.
Okay. And I feel like you and I are just like discussing, and Thogli is just over here like sips mead.
Sips mead.
I'm already on my second.
As one
beer.
does. Oh my gosh! Am I gonna have to re-pour this cup? I think I'm gonna have to re-pour this cup.
Well, okay. I did have a question though, because I've been a drunken dwarf.
Okay.
And haven't been here for a little bit. I see that you have the new mead batch that you're not that far away from getting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Almost there.
So how does one contribute to that?
Oh, that's a great question. I think is it donate or did we set up tip? Aha, tip. So we have a stream elements that you can choose to tip through. And that goes straight through us through the stream element tipper thingy. And that directly correlates with the mead batch that is on screen. And why do we have it at 300, Vertec? You are the mead master here. You're the one making mead. I'm
because
just drinking
that's
it.
About how much it would cost in supplies to get another batch going of the varieties that we were talking about potentially doing next. Mainly because one of the options was going to be the cherry cinnamon, which actually for 5 gallons requires like 40 pounds of cherries.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of cherries.
Yeah.
But
root beer banana.
To add to that, he just picked up some papaya to go in the current mead batch, which is almost at completion.
Yes.
So we've almost completed our first mead batch, and when we go to like bottle it and everything, we'll be taking video for that as well. But yeah, we need a cherry tree. I think these specific cherries are a variety of cherries, Vertec.
Yeah, so I get 2 different varieties. I get well, I guess I should make a correction there, Fupo. Part of it was 40 pounds of cherries. There's tart cherries and there's sweet cherries. There's about 40 pounds of cherries that go into part of it. Those are usually the tart cherries after the fact. The sweet cherries used to actually ferment with the mead, and I would have to look back at my recipe to remember exactly how much goes in there. That's why I always just say 40, because it sounds like a lot. It's a little bit more than just 40. But yeah. It's also the trick is getting certain types of cherries that definitely have no additives whatsoever, not getting anything that's just sitting out on your typical like grocery store pile that could have had whatever pesticides and whatnot on them, because they're really hard to clean. And on top of that, they still have like the seeds in there, so I'd have to de-seed them, because when you put the seeds in the mead and then that starts to maybe break apart or get eaten into the flavor of the mead, it could cause some very not cherry flavors to be leaked into that. So I get specifically, there's a couple brands I look at for frozen cherries to begin with, for the fermentation part, and frozen specifically because they come without the seeds in them. They're frozen, which breaks down the cell walls so that the yeast can get in there and actually eat the cherries and turn it into alcohol easier. It gets a lot more of the flavor in there as well at the same time. And then I go for some dried cherries for the second part after fermentation. I put them in there, but a lot of dried cherries you pick up, they're going to have a lot of oils on them or some kind of sugar additive or whatever the case is, to either make it sweeter, more attractive for people to nom on, or to make them last longer and not stick together. So there's like some kind of like like sunflower oil on them, which is kind of bad for meads. Really doesn't do well.
So as you can tell, there's a lot of work that goes into mead making.
Yeah. So without getting into too much more detail on there, like, that's pretty much why I need to look for specific types of cherries, specific types of fruits in general, like the papayas, picking them up whole so I can actually skin them off and make sure that they're at the perfect ripeness. But they're actually like the papaya, believe it or not, is going to be vastly cheaper than the cherry on a per pound basis.
Oh yeah. So does yeast get drunk when it eats sugar?
Biologically speaking, it eats sugar and pees alcohol.
I feel like we should just clip that out of context.
Completely out of context. That's basically what happens. So alcohol is actually a waste product of yeast.
Thank you, Bean. So Vertec.
Yeah.
We were going to go into our whole conversation about how we're going to handle oh my gosh, how we're going to handle streaming going forward. What was the idea that you have proposed? And then I have a follow-up poll that I'm going to add. Yeast pea.
Yeast pea is delicious.
Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry for anybody just tuning in like just this moment.
Just for this small little window of time. You bring the weird. It's all right. We like weird around here.
I'm a dwarf. It gets weird sometimes.
But yeah, so we've been wanting to get some more actual curated, like actual constructed videos out there. Especially now that we're doing a lot more convention work in the floor, getting to know people, trying to make things happen. Some things you're gonna have to wait a little while to see how things pan out and where they lead. But they're truly exciting either way. But since we're doing a lot more of that, there's a lot more like behind the scenes and a lot more constructed video content we can put out for you folks. But that requires time. Yes. And as we always say, there's only so much time available. It's a currency you only receive once and you pay out once. You get one paycheck per unit of time.
That also includes us.
Yes, that includes us. We are not time wizards. So in order to spend more time doing that, but still doing the important interacting with you folks in live streams, the theory is going to be that we're going to spin out, and these days are kind of still in theory.
Work in progress?
Yeah, work in progress. We're still trying to iron it out. Got to figure it all out. But basically streaming 2 days every week instead of the 3 that we do now. And using Tuesdays and Thursdays as an example, there would still be, say, a Tuesday stream. In the future, that could mean, in theory, being the MMO day of the week. And then Thursdays would still be a quest day, and it would be Mead Quest 1 week and Cozy Quest the next week, and then Mead Quest, Cozy Quest. We'd alternate back and forth, Chibi night or my night. And then we would once a month do a tavern talk, which would be more about getting Sogly. Thank you. My gosh, I am gonna have to refill this cup because I have just enough for like a sip of a cheer. You know what? Yeah, I'll do that. That's more. It's more apropos.
Ready? 1.
No. 2, hold on. Oh, wait.
1.
Oh, okay.
1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah. And cheers.
Wait, that deserves 2 cheers.
Let's do them both at once.
Every time I don't have Fireball for a little while, it's just a little spicy.
A little bit extra. Thank you so much there, Thogly. That puts us into needing to start the next batch right away.
You know, us dwarves love the batch of spicy water.
And you'll be happy to know. Remember, I was telling you I was going to be trying to work out a dwarven mead that was going to be more rich and more savory than sweet, if possible.
Of course.
I think I have just recently obtained the honey to do so. It's if you haven't heard of it, Manuka honey.
I have heard of Manuka honey.
Yeah, it's very like rich in flavor, very unique, but it's also more savory than sweet.
It is so crazy. I've not had Manuka before, and that was such an interesting experience to try.
It's also a very expensive honey.
Yes,
and it's also very fun to say.
Very fun to say.
But yeah, and I mean to make a gallon of it, like the honey alone is probably around $150. It's crazy. It's not cheap in any way, shape, or form. But I'm gonna try it. Gonna see what I can do. I'm gonna try to make a couple small, probably half-gallon batches, just in case I get one wrong, it doesn't destroy the whole thing, and see what happens. But yeah, it's gonna be good stuff.
Oh, I'm really excited to try that. And I think so. For reference, the current one, Vertec, how much longer do you think is on that?
The current one, if I had to throw out a number, I should be done with it in theory by the time we go to PAX, because I want to take a couple bottles to at least show some people where it's at the moment when we go to PAX. But I don't want to bottle up all of it because I want to see how well it sits during how well it develops while we're away and over the next month or two before I call it done.
Another month or two. And for reference, this particular batch officially was started on Valentine's Day. So that is how long roughly a batch of mead takes. And I think it really depends on the flavor profile that you're going for and what things you put in it and how it tastes along the way.
Yes. All I gotta say is mead crafting and enjoying is a wonderful mix of science and art and lush borderline drinking too much. Because you have to sip all the time. You have to sip it all the time to try it.
It gets also like really high up there in alcohol per volume.
Yeah. Like there's I think with these two separate batches, because it's technically one batch in two different varieties of how it was prepared. I think we've sampled it like 6 times now, 7 times now.
Mm-hmm.
Just grabbing shot glasses and just pouring it out like, let me try this. Yeah, let me try that one. I'm bouncing around back and forth. We took.
You know what they say: the stronger the brew, the happier the dwarf.
It's a true story.
Huh.
It's a true story. Manuka Lewinsky. Oh, that's terrible and amazing.
All right.
That's terrible.
Not to pivot off of what we're talking about, because it's super exciting. And thank you again, real quick, before pivoting off it. Thank you again so much, Thogly. That means a lot to us. So we are very excited. We can start it over again and begin prepping for the next one. But Vertec, you were talking about like streaming and more curated stuff.
Yes. So streaming and honestly, more curated stuff.
Erwin, for the names of things, we are definitely going to have the higher tier patrons and those that helped donate help us name each batch that they were a part of. So, for example, Thogly helping us with like this one, for example.
Yeah, Thogly and Metal for sure carried the large brunt of this one. Metal,
thank you.
If you're hearing this, we're gonna need your help too. Look for what flavor we're doing for sure. Because one of them on the table was the cherry and cinnamon. More cherry than cinnamon. Very slight touch.
And now I shall name the meat. Sorry, reading chat. But yes, Metal. Definitely appreciate you. Can't wait to make it logo. Aw.
But yeah, so yeah, as we were saying, so Tuesdays. Currently, again, days are kind of up in the air, but this is just the current thoughts. So Tuesdays would be what we do for our MMO, like our MMO home, finding home, and then after we are home,
main game,
etc. / main game. Thursdays would be a quest night. It would be Mead Quest or Cozy Quest, alternating every other week. And then once a month, we would do an actual like tavern talk where we do what we're doing tonight. We sit down and we just talk about everything that's happened in the past month, everything that's coming up in the next month or 2 or 3, plans for this, plans for that, gather input from people, all that fun stuff. And then once per month, we would do a community night.
Yes.
Where we would, I mean, you guys know community nights. We have drinks, we spin wheels, we do crazy stuff. We now and in the future will play What Do You Reckon?
At least for a little bit. There's more I want to share, but we're not ready for that yet. But this will at least help us with a Would You Rather game. I just might save some of these for the post Tavern Talk show.
Ooh. So yeah, in the end, we'd basically go from having 12 to 14 streams in a month to doing 8, 9, 10 streams in a month. It's a small reduction in the numbers, but it's a great reduction in the time that we need to take, because every single time we go live, we need to be prepared for it and have things to do and all that fun stuff. So we're going to use that time to put out more. Don't mind doing it. It's just we only have so much time to do things, so we're going to refocus a little bit of effort to doing some of the curated video content. Again, especially because we have so much footage that we just haven't put to video because we haven't had the time to do the editing for it. Between past conventions, and we're just going to have more coming up. I guarantee you, and some of it's going to be fantastic.
But on that note, I'm going to launch the poll real quick. For our curated content, what would you prefer? More TTRPG stuff, more video documents? By video documents, I mean what I did for Ashes of Creation, where we tried out like Node Wars and then I like broke everything down, that kind of video document. More game reviews, i.e. trying out things like Witchspire and Animo and then doing my opinion on that, or Vertex's opinion on that if he so desires. More BTS adventures, or a good mix. And of course, as per usual, I'm allowing additional votes. 20 plumes per vote. This just gives us a good idea of what you are wanting, and I've launched the poll now. But this kind of helps us get an idea of like what things interest you guys and what kind of content should we make with this. And a good mix could be, as it comes in, we do a TTRPG video and then maybe a video documentary on our plans of going through MMO journey and like what that looked like for us and what that meant for us. And then like the game review could be, hey, we just tried out Animo and it's fresh off on our minds and this is our thoughts on Animo, etc. The game review, I just said that. The BTS of adventures are kind of what I've been putting in the Discord already, which are like, here's a time lapse of us driving to the place that the convention is. Here's some interesting things we found at the convention, things like that. And then a good mix is like whatever comes, and I don't really have a preference out of all of these. I like all of these, but like whatever is most natural for you guys to make. And that'll help us with like deciphering like what you guys are interested in. Right now it looks like a good mix is winning. So yeah. But it's one of those things, we can't say exactly what we're working on, but we are working on something called Nom Venture with Nomnivore. And so that is taking up a bit of our time. So I don't know if you noticed, leading up to GCX and Gen Con, we were quite quiet. We were online late at night. Part of that was us working with them on this Nom Venture thing ahead of everything with the cons. So yeah, noms, they're called Nomnivore, Nomnivore Games, and the little baby dinosaurs basically that like snacks, so we call them noms. But yeah, and Nomniverse is like, to put it basic, baby's first TTRPG. So yeah, go get your snacks. But we'd be happy to show you at some point like some of the products that we work with them to sell at these conventions and things. And that includes also Emberwind. You guys have heard me talk about Emberwind before. So yeah.
Yeah, put the link out there for you so you can kind of get a decent idea from the site at least. Like this is one of the main stands and booths that we help man and support when we go out to the cons. There's some others we give a little bit of, there's some others we give a little bit of tangential support to, like Cookie Brigade. They're amazing. If you ever see Cookie Brigade at a convention, by the way, stop by their booth, because they're amazing people and they have really fun stuff going on at their booth, and it can cost you exactly $0 just to have some entertainment. Yeah.
I will say my favorite thing is to walk up to the Cookie Brigade booth at PAX and put like any amount of money on the counter and then just see cookies appear.
Yeah. In front of cookies magically appear. It's great.
Yes. And for the less savory question mark of us that enjoy getting baked, they actually have a game called Get Baked about making cookies. So
which,
things like
despite the name, is actually quite wholesome.
Yes,
for now.
For now, I've heard of a potential rumor about there being an expansion that is a little less wholesome, but
still wholesome. To those who don't know.
Yeah, exactly. They are trying to keep it very wholesome in general, though.
Yeah, it's great. Literal fun for the whole family.
That leads us into the final announcement of new things going on. And Vertec, you officially kicked out the broccoli whoever today.
Yes. I have segmented us away from the broccoli. So one of the occurrences that happened while we were away at GCX is we officially got the email just today. Right? Like I didn't miss anything. It was just today, right? It was confirmed.
Yeah, it was confirmed.
We're partnering up with nodecraft.com. They're going to be offering us up some space, some servers and whatnot, where we can load up some games to just continually be available to our community. By continually, I mean they will have some spin up time. They will be available to log into. When you log in, it'll take a moment to spin up the server, kick it live, but then we could have like a POW World server going all the time and a Voyages of Nera server going at all times, and who knows what else? Enshrouded? I don't know. Let's do it.
Mayhaps. Yeah. I mean, I would try to jump in with the Noobtastic and Enshrouded. I know Noobtastic's been trying to get us to play that for a little while. Or whatever other game that might come out that might need a dedicated server. So
yeah, basically if you go to Nodecraft and you see a game on there, we'd be able to pop up a server for it and it would be available on demand.
Yeah.
And yes, ahead of time. Well, actually, first off, yeah, we sat down with the community engagement person. Great guy. Spins under the name, or not spins, streams under the name Beaver, BVR.
Yeah.
Super cool guy. Sat there and just talked about our goals and what their goals are and how we can kind of collide and meet in the middle and see where we can take each other. And just honestly, like the way they have things set up is actually pretty amazing. It's pretty fantastic. So yeah, something to let you know ahead of time. Yes, we will be having a promo code if anybody else is looking to have their own private server. It does give us a little bit of a kickback, but I can honestly say you folks have seen us like advertise and get sponsored by stuff or even seek sponsorship by like nobody. Like we really don't seek sponsorships and things to try to make money off of, because we want to make sure we have something that we actually believe in and think is actually really good. And
yeah, we won't just take any partnership that comes our way.
Yeah, we saw the front end of this stuff. We saw the back end. We talked about everything that they're currently doing. I mean, obviously not everything in the future that they're trying to do, but a few ideas on things that they're working on right now in the very near future. And yeah, it's a really, really cool product, really cool place.
Yeah, and honestly, we want you guys to speak, especially for those of you that are playing Voyages of Nero with us. We want the product to speak for itself more so. And I think he does as well. And he kind of explained the back end of why some of the issues we've been having are issues that we've been having with the other server providers and how they intend to go about it differently. And so everything sounded really good to Vertec and I. And as soon as we got back from Gen Con, we decided to go ahead and go forward with it. So yeah, very excited for that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, then Oracle, if you bump into Beaver's stream again, tell him TGF Tavern says hi. Chibi and Vertec. Tell him to say hello.
I didn't know that he streamed necessarily. I know that he's like the owner of like the partnership program for it, but I didn't know that he like necessarily streamed.
Yeah, he's got his own little channel he does stuff on. Yeah, he's got his own little server spun up for some of these games too.
Yeah, but we also have the option that they gave us to have a 24/7 uptime, but given kind of how small our community is and how little of us are interested in some of these games, we kind of opted on the spin up as it's being used. But if, let's say, Animo was something that needed its own server, I could totally see something like Animo needing its own like 24/7 uptime for it.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a what if scenario. Animo is not going to, so it's not an option, but just putting it out there.
Yeah, I mean, we could rotate through and kind of rotate through games that are going to be up with a 24/7 while we are all actively using it regularly. Yeah. And then maybe shut down that 24/7 server when we're not actively using it a lot, just to, save them some resources and whatnot. Because the wake and play servers, the ones that spin up whenever you actually become active.
Thank you for the stretch.
Yeah, have a good night. Take care, Bean. Thank you for stopping by. But yeah, the wake and play servers, yeah, we'll have a couple of those going based on whatever the community is looking to play, whatever we feel like diving into.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was really exciting because we had a couple conversations with him over the course of GCX.
Yeah, we did. Also, our poll ended, and a good mix won with 83% votes. So, with one person preferring definitely more BTS of our adventures. So, very excited for that.
Which kind of falls in line with what I've been wanting to do. I do know that we never put it out in video form, but I did take some video of PAX East. Kind of the walk in when it was dead and empty, basically, like towards our booth. Because it looks completely different.
I may have that on my PC at this point, and some of that is like maybe do like a year in review where we show off different things where I may not have made its own video yet. But again, that comes down to needing time to do the editing and stuff.
Yeah, and this is also where we need to improve with our con coverage, because I don't think I did. What I wanted to do is one walkthrough with it being bare empty, and then another one with it being everything set up completely. That way there's a good contrast of seeing like what it's like with all the lights and flash fair going on and just people every which way. And then another one where it's, you know, this is what it's like showing up and having just a pile of things set up on a concrete floor in a literally in a pile, and saying, okay, make a booth out of this.
Yeah.
And then a handful of hours later, everything is magic.
I have some of that for Gen Con. You guys got to see some of that in the Gen Con post that I put in the Discord. I am working to add that into a bigger video that will go on YouTube, but there's like 2 videos I'm trying to make for YouTube, and it's going to take a minute. So, and on top of that, we have family coming in this weekend, which brings me into our streaming discussion for the rest of the week. Thursday. How are we handling that?
Oh no, we're gonna have to figure that out. Thursday, yeah, because we have family in town. It's like starting tomorrow night at some point. I think Thursday is probably going to be we'll see what happens. Probably not going to be here this Thursday.
I did remove it from the calendar, so some of you may have gotten a lot of pings. I was moving things around and updating for our end of the month convention experience that we're going to, or / beginning of the month for next month. Convention we're going to go to, which is Pax West. But also I was canceling like our streams for the time that we're at PAX, and then also our streams for this week. Vertec said he may or may not, if he can't on Thursday, maybe pop on earlier on Sunday. I will actually be out doing GMing on Sunday. I thought I had pulled out of all of the GM expectations, and I unfortunately forgot one. And I felt bad being like, yeah, not again. So.
But yeah, I think Thursday and Sunday are going to be a we'll see, but probably not. To be fully honest, because family's going to be in town starting tomorrow night. Thursday they're still going to be in town, and I doubt they're going to be completely pooped come our normal stream time. And you know they're probably not going to be like retiring to sleep yet at the 8-9 o'clock time. So we'll be up with them Sunday. I know they're talking about going out and about to one of the parks here in town, and I'm not excited to do that park during the heat that's going on right now and like the hottest part of the year, because there's not much shade at that park. So I've kind of tapped out of it. Chibi's going to be doing the GM thing, but I think I want to be available for them in case they decide to run away from the park because they're dying of heat and UV exposure. So I probably won't be streaming, but we'll see. That's a 80% not going to be here, but maybe we'll see.
Yeah. But also, just to kind of bring it back to the top of like all of this, we are still trying to do Guild Wars 2 all of this month. So whatever days are still up there are the days that are intended to be streamed. I did not remove any time yet from Vertec potentially going up north, because if I don't go up north with Vertec, then I can stream on those days. But if I do go up north with Vertec, we're not going to be able to stream on those days. And part of that is going to be doing some like behind the scenes like inventorying for the next convention too.
Yeah, getting things set up.
The plan in general is Guild Wars 2 this month which Vertec doesn't need, I think, a whole lot of ideas on everything. It's just more me getting more ideas on Guild Wars 2, because Vertec, you've played a lot. But I think you should definitely at least make it a priority to go into the artisan stuff, the crafting things, so that you can have a full idea of how like the crafting feels. And I'm gonna work on a balanced approach of like, how does the story feel? How does this feel? How does that feel? A couple of you joined me last night.
Yeah, we got a spreadsheet worth of stats to fill in and ratings to make. So we got to make sure we can rate all the stuff, right?
Exactly. And I was getting at a couple of you joined me on Sunday, and I was able to experience what it's like to have somebody who's probably like a much higher level than me joining me for that stuff, and how that grouping feels and things like that.
Smooth, isn't it?
That's all super, super helpful. Chibi was the Twitch name. I'm BVR. I don't know. I know his X name is BVR. Let me check right now. I'm in our X account, so give me a second.
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't even touched Guild Wars 2.
You haven't even touched Guild Wars 2?
No.
Yes, yep, I am BVR. That'd be him.
Hey, I said I was getting it.
I was racing.
I said yes first.
You did.
But I mean, Guild Wars 2 is really nice. I like it. I feel like the story, it makes it very easy for you to figure out like where you are going with the story. It's the stopping playing after like maybe a week at most of playing somewhat, and then coming back a couple years later and being like, where did I leave off?
Where did I leave off?
Harder. Yeah. But yes, I am ready for my first dungeon now. So pretty excited for that one. And mayhaps the next time Vertec and I stream, we will be able to do like dungeon content. But one of the questions I was gonna have is, this is kind of another poll, but I'll just take people's answers in chat for this one. Do you want us to go ahead and maybe move the Tavern talks to once a month? Because we're doing a pretty in-depth Tavern talk right now. And then focus on gameplay for the rest of this month with another live stream right before we leave for PAX, maybe, or right after we get back from PAX. I think it'd be easier to do it if we like right before we leave, just to do like a recap of our thoughts and everything. I
mean, I will say,
if you can remember it, if I can remember where like all of my thoughts on things after we get back, that might be easier.
Yeah, I will say it's going to be easier overall to probably, if we're going to do a stream before, it's got to be the 30th. Like that's the only day, because I'm going to be gone for work from the 22nd through the 29th.
Okay. I could totally see us doing the 30th. We could use the Sunday Cozy Quest as like the last stream of like the wrap up and the prepping of us going to PAX West. But and then doing like the official rating of everything, because by then I should have at least had a good idea. Because basically what that means is if we aren't able to do this Thursday and Sunday, that means the 18th, the 20th, the 23rd at least are all Guild Wars days. If I'm staying home, otherwise it's literally the 18th and the 20th for tech. And then the 30th if I'm going with you. So if I stay home, I'll have the 18th, 20th, 23rd, 25th, and 27th, 5 days of streaming to share with you guys my thoughts on Guild Wars and explore different Guild Wars things.
Yeah. So I'm almost thinking with the fam in town plus me being gone for that week, we should probably kick off the new schedule, get it figured out, and kick it off after we get back from PAX. Yeah,
that works. And also, one last thing I want to share about when we come back from PAX. That is our affiliate anniversary month.
Affiliate anniversary.
And I have some fun things planned for that. That involves a lot of different taverns.
Oh my goodness. So many tavern.
So, I think that would make perfect sense, because then on Tuesdays we could do like Final Fantasy, for example, and then on Thursdays we could do tavern thingies.
Is there a tavern crawl happening?
Tavern crawl.
Tavern crawl happening here?
Noobtastic said tavern crawl. Kind of. It's tavern crawl, but like in games.
Sign me up.
So.
Oh my.
Sounds fun.
Oh my.
You're gonna join us for that? And we just figured, what better way to celebrate September and our anniversary than making it tavern themed month and having a lot of tavern themed games together. So.
Oh my goodness! Speaking of which, remind me when we go to PAX, we have to hit the Red Bull Tavern.
Yes, I was gonna say Red Bull Tavern is one I definitely want to try to cover this time around. They're at like a lot of the PAXs, so. Yeah, we'll have Ale Until Tavern, among a lot of other ones. I don't want to give the full list away yet. I will give you guys the full list later. But that is potentially one of them. Yes. But yeah, I think those are kind of some of the major things that we have to announce. I put that kind of at the end of our conversation, but I wanted to bring it back to like Guild Wars 2 for a second about like, hey, this is what we're playing for the rest of this month. And Vertec and I might need a little bit more time with Guild Wars, which is part of the reason why I'm like, maybe I'll just stay back if that ends up being okay. And then I'll get more time in Guild Wars so I have more time to explore the different things.
And also, I suppose we should probably get maybe put out a poll in Discord on because we're taking so much time off of Guild Wars with the cons and the family and all that, if we should extend it out to cover 4 to 6 weeks of actual gameplay, or if we should move directly off into the next game because people just aren't as interested in Guild Wars itself, and we'll just try to play a little bit more behind the scenes like as we find time to fiddle with it to get a good enough feeling to put some ratings in there. Just see what people think.
Uh-oh. What did I introduce to you?
Uh-oh. Oh, gosh.
Was I sober? Probably not, but I don't remember.
Fair. It's all right. It'll be a surprise to all of us here in a moment. Dum, dum, dum. Drum roll, please. Oh, Bronzebeard's Tavern.
Yeah,
that was so fun.
I got that one on my list, and I just
I
have not had a chance to jump into that one yet. So it's good stuff.
I enjoyed it. Yes.
Okay. So that's a must do.
Yeah, I have a whole list for tech.
Sweet.
All right, cool. I got the poll put in the thingy, so maybe we'll do that on Monday.
That works.
Don't forget, we currently have a poll going on in our Discord about which Guild Wars 2 profession class you would choose.
Yeah.
Whether or not you're playing.
And if anyone...
Which one sounds most interesting?
I can tell you which one sounds most interesting to me. That's because I'm already playing them.
What's that?
Honestly, Guardian and Necromancer.
Gotcha.
I do want to get into Archer, the Archer though. I want to shoot some bows. Go pew, 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 pew.
Yeah. I like it. I've been playing Ranger, or I was playing Ranger on Sunday, and that was pretty fun. So.
Yeah, Ranger, not Archer. My bad. The bow-based class.
I mean, it could be. Yeah, it's called Ranger. Okay, I was like, it could be Archer. I don't know. I'm just calling it Ranger. But,
I mean, the engineer sounds nifty because you get to work with little machines you can toss out and all, but at the same point, it sounds interesting. It doesn't sound like that, like on the top of the cream of the crop interesting.
Gotcha.
But engineer sounds interesting to this dwarf.
And should I find the time, I would also like to try to put together, there is the initial demo decks for the Cyberpunk 2077 card game that's ready for print and play on their site. Ooh. I'm going to see if I can put that into a digital format on tabletop simulator. If anyone's interested in joining me in maybe a Discord game or two here or there, if I can get it put together, before the physical cards come out in like September or October.
Yeah, I do know that we do want to do a bunch of coverage on not only like cyberpunk stuff, because that's Vertex favorites, but also like Dungeon Crawler Carl stuff, because he's gotten me. I've completely finished the books, by the way, at this point. So he's gotten me into that, and then we're super caught up with like all of the books at this point, and just waiting for 9 and 10 to come out eventually.
October should see the tabletop.
I could even see us potentially at the end of this. Like, I'm enjoying Guild Wars 2 so far. I can't say like much more than like ESO or not yet, but I liked it enough that I looked down and I was like, oh shoot, it's already 11 and I need to get to bed. But I could see both ESO and Guild Wars 2 being viable things to kind of go back and forth on, mainly because, again, neither of them require a subscription cost. So like you can pop in and pop out as you wish, and you don't have to feel bad about not playing them, which I know Basil was really, really favoriting that with Guild Wars in general as the franchise. Being able to pop in and play a little bit and not feel bad that you have a subscription and you weren't really on, kind of like World of Warcraft. So
That's
pretty much all I had in mind for today. We covered a lot of things. We talked about the Guild Wars 2 event coming up. We talked about like the playable races and MMO Lites and our thoughts on the MMO Lites, and then what's coming up for TGF. So
covered a lot of ground tonight.
Yeah, we did.
All over the place.
Stokely, is there anything that you wanted to discuss that's left over?
No, not really. I'm just excited for the bead updates and see that come through. I've always been interested in that.
we are trying to get more, like we have a couple of meat updates on YouTube already. We're trying to get more done, but again, the time needed to do the editing and stuff like that. I think Vertec wanted to do some voiceovers on stuff, so that takes a bit of time.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, just saying, if you want to make it out to one of the PAXs, we could probably pack an extra bottle with us.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Also,
we're actually gonna have to talk about that then, because I might try and make that happen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but also, the only thing is I don't have my Dwarven cosplay stuff finished.
Aww.
Yeah.
It's okay. Also, they're doing a new PAX Unplugged, and I think it's in the south somewhere.
What?
That's the rumor. Yeah, somewhere in Texas. I know.
Is it in San Antonio or Houston? Ooh.
Houston PAX Unplugged ? Somewhere in that area.
A long time ago down here, they shut it down.
Yeah,
I think it's another tabletop centric one.
It is, yes. So, yeah, definitely be in touch with that, because it's always nice to go see people around the country. And I mean, now that we have our passports, our teleports, going anywhere. But yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for joining. Vertec, I'll let you do the final thing. That my thoughts were just kind of the summary. So
okay. Well, I guess do you have anybody in mind to raid before I start closing this out?
I was actively doing that while you close this out, so I'm not taking up time.
Fair enough. All right. Well, hey everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you for chatting. Thank you for contributing to the conversation. That is the most greatest thing you can do for us. We love every single thing that you have to say, whether we actually hate it inwardly or not because you're right and we don't like it, or we love it because you're right and we love it. Either way, you're right, because your opinion is just as valid as anything else out there. But your time... Yes. But your time, as we do like to remind you, is your most valuable piece of currency that you can possibly obtain. As we said earlier, you get the paycheck for each chunk of time one time, and then you spend it and it's gone forever. You do not get change when you spend it. It's gone. You spent it here, so we hope it was worthwhile, and we hope we have been an enrichment of your day.
Yes, and I don't think you heard me, but I said I sent a couple of options, and you just went yes.
Yes. No, I see them. I'm just pondering there.
Gotcha.
We do. I think.
I was just making sure that you knew what you were saying yes to.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. But I was pondering it while I was speaking.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we have decided we are gonna go raid a Strauss, who we haven't raided in I don't think in a while.
It's been a long while. It's been a long while.
It has been a long while. Sorry, not sorry to Noob, but Strauss is playing World of Warcraft right now, so we're gonna raid over and
sorry, not sorry.
We're gonna raid over to him. So
indeed. Well, everybody, you have yourselves a fantastic evening. Thank you once again for joining us. It means the world to us. So you have yourselves a great night. Get great rest when you get there, but until then, have great fun. Good night and be excellent.
Thank you so much, Stokely, for joining us.
Of course.
Good night, everybody. Bye.
Bye.